guys, welcome back to my channel. I just wanted to touch bases with you really quick regarding some thoughts that I had today regarding our sock policy. As you know, in past videos, I've talked a lot about the sock policy, the reason why we have a sock policy, why it's really important to have one, and how it's like the #1 complaint that we always get regarding that policy. We get tons and tons of pushback regarding the sock policy all the time. And honestly, sometimes it's really hard to deal with because, you know, people are just really, really grumpy. And I feel like it's mostly people that, and I hate to stereotype, most people that are in the kind of the older audience range. I think indoor playgrounds itself is just a fairly new concept. You know, even when I was growing up, my parents never took me to indoor playgrounds. Granted, my mom said that she would work all the time so that she didn't have any time to take me any places. But I feel like it's such a privilege, you know, that I get to do that with my kids. Now with a newer generation, if you've been to enough indoor playgrounds, you know that 90% of them require you to have socks anyway. But I just think that some people don't grasp the concept of the sock thing. And that creates a lot of drama for the employee that's working that day. Anyway, so over the weekend, one of the employees told me about an incident that happened where an adult slipped in the play area. And she made a big scene out of it. She basically said that she was going to sue us and all this other stuff. Well, I didn't really think anything of it until today when one of the employees' moms came in and basically mentioned that incident to me, and we started talking a little bit about it, and I started telling her that, you know, I really want to change about the sock policy somehow. I'm not going to take it away because I feel like the sock policy is really important and it's there for a reason, and I feel like most play spaces have that policy for a reason. But I just want to maybe change it to something like requiring people to wear grip socks, and I don't know how we would police it because I think that would be very, very hard to police it or, you know, to make sure that everybody's wearing grip socks. But I know that there's some indoor play spaces that require you to buy their socks. So if you're a first-time comer, you have to buy their socks. And I feel like implementing that policy would be smart just because the liability purposes. If you're in business, and I think this is in any business, like you make most of your choices or most of your business decisions based off a couple of things, right? One, is it going to make me more money, right? It's going to be good for the business as far as profit-wise. And two, the liability and the risk to your business. How does that change the liability and risk to your business is number 2, right? With that being said, I do think that this is in the line where number 2, where it can be potential as a risk in my business, and I need to make the changes to make sure that it doesn't become a liability. So the only thing about making that change is that I'm just scared that people will be even more mad, and that we'll have even more instances where people are very, very angry at the fact that we are making them buy socks. So I don't know, it's just gonna have to be something where I have to change my pricing, like just charging an extra $2 per admission or something like that, so that way it makes up for the cost of every single person that comes in that doesn't have the socks. You're just giving them the socks, something like that. And then if they bring the socks back, maybe just giving them a discount. I feel like that would be like the most ideal scenario in that situation. And the whole thing is, like, I feel like the birthday parties are the #1 cause for our anxiety regarding the socks, because most people that get invited to birthday parties are not our ideal client. They are friends and family of people that are our ideal client, because obviously they book their birthday party there. And so the people that are coming are not coming really of their own will or over their own planning. They're coming because somebody invited them there. And so generally a lot of the times they're not really our ideal demographic. So that is the reason why they sometimes cause such a stink. One of the other things I really hate about being a business owner, and what customers don't understand, is that a lot of the times we as business owners, we kind of let things happen as far as in good faith, you know, just hoping that people are just good-hearted, natured people and are trustworthy and truthful. But when one person, we just have one bad egg that ruins the policy for everybody, we have to change the whole policy just because that one person was, you know, fucked it all up for the rest of you. So then when we change the policy, and then the next person that comes in and says, well, that's a stupid policy, why did you change it? Well, because so-and-so ruined it for you guys, and now we have to change the policy to protect ourselves. So yeah, I'm gonna make that policy change probably in the next year or so. Start ordering socks that have grip on them, and then I think I'm probably gonna do a pricing change. I think for birthday parties, it's probably gonna be the easiest policy to implement, because I think that just charging an extra like $30 on top of your birthday party will help, you know, just give the socks to everybody or something like that. I don't know exactly how it will work, but it should work in those terms. I don't know, just a few thoughts that you have to think about if you're opening up indoor play space, or you have an indoor play space, you know, that don't currently have like a grip sock policy. If you are in the stages of looking to open your indoor play space, thinking about the sock policy is really important. After all the main things like your design of the play space and everything like that, just because it's going to be just the #1 headache in your life once you open. So you just want to kind of think that through and think about what you want to do. As you know, hopefully that gives you a little bit of insight on, you know, what we go through and all the problems that we have. Even maybe this might be a little problem in our life, but it's still a problem, and it's still something that we have to address because it's a safety issue. For all things of our indoor play area, all the complaints that we get, the #1 thing I always think about if I'm going to make any changes is if it's a safety issue. If it's not a safety issue, then, you know, it could be back on the back burner, or, you know, it might not change at all. We get feedback sometimes where the feedback is just ridiculous, and we would never change it. But, you know, this wasn't actually technically feedback that we got from somebody. It was more kind of just like, we recognize that there is an issue here and that we need to find some way to address that issue so that way it doesn't happen again in the future, and having people threaten to sue us. That's not ideal for your business. So make sure you subscribe to this channel by clicking here, and click over here for more play space owner content. Talk to you next time. Bye.